All right, let me set some context for the video. In this video, we have 5 open source program participants, 3 from GSOC and 2 from OUTREACHY. We will be talking to them about their experience. When did they start contributing? What was their tech stack? How did they get into open source? How was their program? And what are their future plans? Take this video as a source of motivation if you're thinking of contributing this year. And the TLDR of the video is everyone started contributing around December and January. So you still have time if you're thinking of contributing to GSOC this year. With that, let's get right into it. So hi Monalika, welcome to the video. How's it going?
Yeah, it is going good. It was a cool day. So yeah, working on some projects and all. So it is all good. How you are doing?
I'm doing good, man. Where are you based out of? Are you in India? Are you abroad?
I am residing in India at New Delhi
New Delhi.
only.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Great. Well, we'd love to know about your experience. You've done Outreachy this year, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, great. And so what was your origination like? What was your college? Where did you start? How did you get into coding?
So I'm Monalika and a pre-final year student at Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women, IGDTUW, a bit long name. Okay, so I started applying for Outreachy. Actually, I got to know about Outreachy in my second year itself. A lot of my seniors have done internship at Outreachy. So I got to know about the name. I applied it during the last, no, this January only. Then my initial application got accepted. Then I moved to the contribution phase. I contributed to projects and all. Then I made the final application. So it is divided into 3 phases, like the initial application, the contribution phase, and then your final application. Yes, then I got selected, and I would say like it is the best thing that has happened to me. Like those 3 months were just amazing. So
Got it.
yes.
Great. So could you elaborate more on that? What was amazing about it? Was it the money? Was it the learning that you had? Was it the community?
Yeah, sure. So Outreachy gives you a dynamic team. You are going to work in a dynamic team with a lot of developers from around the world who are contributing to the same repository with the same goal and mission. So you are going to connect with them. You are going to talk with them. You are going to work with them. So it's been a great experience working with them. Like those 3 months were filled with a lot of code reviews, like making PRs, issues and all. So yes, it's been just amazing attending community meetings. I miss them a lot. So yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
talking about your progress and all. So yes, weekly community meetings is the thing. Like when we talk about our progress, like what has been done, what has to be done, like how is it done. So with them, they are just amazing. They are so helpful, and yeah, this is just an amazing experience, I would say.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Very cool. So how many contributions did you make before actually getting in?
After your initial application is accepted, you are moved to the contribution phase, and you are only evaluated on the basis of your contribution phase. Like they would not say before, like how you have no, you have done any contributions before or not. They are not going to check it or evaluate on the basis of it. So your 1 month contribution period is a crucial part. So whatever you have done, yeah, whatever you have contributed in that 1 month, it's a main thing. So I have in starting, first I have prioritized some organization. Okay, I have to like contribute in this organization, and after prioritizing organization, I have started contributing to it. So like it will take a week or two to like set up the project in your local environment. So it would take a time. Then I started contributing. So the weird thing about that is. I have never heard about like the Perl programming language. I'm a total beginner to it. And Open Food Facts server issues like it's been the backend of Open Food Facts. It's the server of Open Food Facts that has been written in like core Perl language. So I was a new beginner to it. I have no idea. I've never heard the name Perl. Okay, Perl is a programming language. I've never heard it before. Before going through the organization. So I have learned some interactive Perl tutorial by learning some hashes, regular functions, and after that I didn't have much time. So I started contributing to the issues. So I started small. Like I have made some front end issues and all, and then I started like writing test scripts in Perl language and all. So yeah, this is the contribution that I have done. I have like merged around like 4 to 5 PRs during that contribution phase. So yeah, it was amazing.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. We'll link your GitHub somewhere at the top right so people can follow. And okay, so your tech stack you've mentioned it was Perl. I guess my last question for you would be, what are your plans after this? Are you, now that you've done outreach, are you going to continue with them? Are you still contributing there, or do you have other plans after this?
Yeah, so I am still contributing to the Open Food Facts repository because I'm just connected to the people. The mentors, they are just amazing. So I'm still contributing to the issues. I'm working on the producers platform. Like I'm solving as much as issues as I can. As soon as I'm getting time from my regular college. Yes, my plans is after. I'm still contributing. Like I'm looking for no remote opportunities, and I love open source. So yeah, I'll target like maybe Google Summer next year and all. Yes, so I'm looking out to guide my juniors about outreachy, and yeah, I'm looking out for giving a talk about it. So
Nice.
yeah, it's like that only.
All right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for taking out the time, and all the best to you for the future.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. It's been great sharing my experience with you. Okay, thank you so much.
Any questions you have, tell me.
Thank you so much. Can I click a picture with you?
Yeah, go for it.
We could do like this
Sure.
or this. Yeah.
Whatever works.
Thank you.
Anything else I can help you with?
No, we can connect on LinkedIn or Twitter maybe.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll follow you on Twitter.
And the great thing that I am your subscriber at YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Your cohort is so famous at Twitter. I have seen regular tweets like Harkirat. This cohort has been amazing. Who has been part of this and stuff like that. So yeah, you are doing great. I
Thank
would
you so
just
much.
want to congratulate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And congratulations for all that you've been doing. If you need anything, if you need any referrals, remote jobs, whatever, let me know. We can connect after the call.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
So, hey, Nitya, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. The past month has been a bit hectic because of incense, but other than that, it's great.
Amazing. Good. I'm great. I had a good day, been a little late, but yeah, overall having fun. All right, let's get into the questions. The first question I have for you, what's your origin story? Are you currently in college? What degree did you pursue? All the basic introductions.
Right, so my name is Nitya Basrija, and right now I'm in my third year, and I'm from IGDTU, so that's Indira Gandhi Delhi Technological University for Women, a pretty big name, and it's in Delhi. So right now I'm a student, but I'm also pursuing a lot of developer roles.
Oh, got it. So you currently work?
Yeah, to an extent. In an open source way, you can't exactly name it as a developer or a student. So it's kind of in the mix.
Got it. Makes sense. And so did you had one open source internship? Was that Outreachy or was that GSOC?
It was Outreachy.
Okay, so you did Outreachy this year. Got it. So could you share your experience? How did you get in? How many contributions did you make? How difficult was it?
Okay, so I heard about Outreachy from my seniors at college, and one of them told me that this was the internship that would be great for us because technically we are beginners, and since we are a women-based college, so of course we get into having a GSOC preparation area and well, of course the outreach area, right? So one of our seniors who was in outreach alum last time, they prepped us well and informed us and gave us various steps that what should we include in our essays, that we should have a positive spirit or not, and basically guiding us in general and also reviewing our proposals. And yeah, that was from the college side. Other than that, when the initial application got through with it, then we had to start with our contribution phase. The contribution phase was a little bit competitive at first because the organization I'm with was Palisados, and Palisados was recruiting interns from Outreachy as well as GSOC. So there was competitors from both the GSOC and Outreachy end. So it was a bit competitive in the start, but eventually, I guess around after a month, everyone knows which repository or project that they are inclining towards. So the majority of the competition of randomly popping up people dies out towards the end, and then you get a basic structure of that. Yeah, this is the project that you're applying with, and you best relate with the mentors or the reviewers here. So yeah, towards the end it was pretty cool, and I even got my proposals reviewed from the mentors that should we need a little bit of upgrade or detail here and there. So yeah.
Got it. And what's your tech stack and what was the tech stack at Outreachy?
The tech stack was JavaScript basically and a lot of scripting. So I was working on the CI/CD pipelining as well as the UI.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense. And had you done coding before? Was your coding in development? Was it in DSA?
I've done coding before. Well, I have participated a lot in hackathons, so I guess you can say that that really helped me with it.
Mhm.
My DSA wasn't that strong at all at that
Okay.
time because I was really more into developer coding. So I've been participating in hackathons and I have been contributing to open source for a really long time. So that helped more. Um, there was no DSA aspect to this internship at all.
Got it. And so you mentioned you've been contributing to open source for a while now. Could you share how that journey began? How difficult was it, and where did you learn from?
I guess it all started in my first year. So initially, I got a internship role as a front-end developer with a startup at Genie. So it was basically a freelancing website being built to aid the Indian developers. So in that, basically they taught the first year that this is GitHub and this is the world of technology you'd be going into. So they were the ones who got me into this arena. And after first year, it was hackathons listing up, and then through second year, I had my outreach internship.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense. And what's your plan after this? Do you want to remain in open source? Do you want to get a full-time job? Or you mentioned you already work, so what's that like?
As of now, I'm not really sure because I'm still in my third year. So yeah, of course, there'd be
Right.
college placements and open source opportunities. So I guess I'll just weigh them in, and whatever works out the best would be the way to go.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense. That's great. Thank you so much for taking out the time, and wish you all the best for your future. Do you have any questions for me?
नहीं, but काफी chaotic scheduling रही है ये.
Sorry about that. It's all on me. मैं late हो गया था. Cool. Well, thank you for taking out the time. If you need anything, yeah, you can get my number, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever you want.
Sure, I'll add you to my LinkedIn connections list for sure.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you so much. So, hi, Mehul. Welcome to the podcast. How's it going?
I'm really fine. It's been pleasure meeting all of you.
Cool. So, can you share a bit about your experience? What do you do currently? Are you in college?
Yes, currently I'm in my pre-final year at IIIT Vadodara doing BTech in Computer Science and Engineering. I did my Google Summer of Code in my second year. Currently in my so basically I started doing the learning Flutter. I did my Google Summer of Code in Flutter.
Got
It
it.
was a great journey from there.
Got it. So, let's take a step back. When did you start coding, and why did you decide Flutter over, DSA or web development?
So I started coding in my first year only.
Mhm.
So basically, I'm from IIIT, and at top of it, I'm a CSE background. So from the first year only, we have subjects related to computer science and coding, etc. So we were forced to into coding from the first year only. In my first semester, first and second semester, I pretty much did everything which everyone was doing, DSA and competitive programming. But in September, in basically starting of my third semester, when Hacktoberfest was going on there, I decided to participate in it, and that was a pivot in my journey of open source. I contributed to some of the projects in Hacktoberfest. Then a couple of months, I searched for many other projects and saw how the code was written in a good manner. Previously, I was just doing the stuffs here and there, and my codes were pretty terrible. Uh, from then on, in mid of December, I decided searching for Google Summer of Code organizations. From there, one of the projects which I really liked was LibreHealth.
Mhm.
LibreHealth basically is a organization that develops solutions for health sector. So my project was based on that only. I started using Flutter for instead of web development, etc. Is was just a reason because one of my subject required me, one of my object-oriented subject programming course required me to develop an application. It was just like a side project which our professor gave us, and due to that, I started learning Flutter.
Got it. And you mentioned so you learned it in a very ad hoc way, and now that you've contributed in GSOC, do you feel you've become very confident in Flutter? You can create applications.
Yes, I'm pretty confident in it. I've worked in a couple of internships also, so I have a great idea about how the industry level codes are written in Flutter.
Got it. Very cool. And So if there's someone who's thinking of contributing to GSOC this year, what would be your advice? How should they, target in the next few months?
So as all of you know that Google Summer of Code is pretty much competitive, especially currently when the job market is down and everyone is looking to how to stand out of the crowd. So Google Summer of Code becomes pretty competitive. So my only advice to the students or any other professional person who is trying to go to Google Summer of Code is try to contribute as early as possible. Get in touch with your mentors, especially read the code bases, particularly the test cases that have been written. Because in Google Summer of Code, the projects are pretty large, especially when you are in Google engineering college, you don't have that experience of contributing to large code bases. So if you are starting, then I would recommend everyone to read the test cases. They pretty much provide a really good idea about what is the workflow of the code. Secondly, my advice would be search for organizations that have a very less number of people, because if you are trying to get into organizations that are already pretty much filled by people, so it is going to be really hard. So try to figure out what organizations are hidden and contribute to them.
Got it. Yeah, that's great advice. Amazing. And what's your plan after this? Now that you've done GSOC, are you going to become a mentor? Do you want to get a job after this? What's your high level plan?
So currently I've not decided whether I want to become a mentor or not, but I think if I apply, I might get the chance of being the mentor of my organization. Further, I plan to again participate in LFX Foundation. I think Linux Foundation mentorship program is really great. I applied for MLH also, but I haven't got the results till now. Currently I'm in my third year, in my fifth semester to be accurate, and within 5 months I will be sitting for my placements. So preparing for that also.
Got it. Very cool. And how's the placement scene right now?
In my college this year, it's pretty, the packages are really low. Previous year we were seeing really great offers being given to my seniors, but this year there is a pretty much a dip in that.
Got it. And are the number of offers also lesser?
Yes, of course. I've seen people previously in my senior to senior year, my seniors were getting placed around 20 LPA easily. But today, even if you are pro at competitive programming and have a great profile in open source also, getting a 15 LPA package is considered to be really great right now. But I hope that situation gets good.
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, cool. Alrighty, but that's all the questions I had. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
All right. Thank you so much for taking out the time and sharing your experience, and all the best for your future.
Thank you, sir.
Hey Aditya, how's it going?
Yeah, everything fine. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good, man. Would love to know your experience. Can you start with a quick introduction?
So, my name is Aditya Singh. I am a third year BTech CSE student from DIT University, Dehradun. So, if you want to know about my programming journey, it started around July 2022. It was end of my first year, and I didn't knew anything about programming. So, at that time, I was completely demotivated, and I thought I should do something. Then at that moment of time, I started programming. Yeah.
Got it. So how did you start to learn? Did you get into DSA first? Did you do development?
I did parallelly both.
Okay, nice.
Like, I have wasted 1 year. I have less time. I need to do many things. So I decided, we get 2 months summer vacations after the end of first year. So I decided that in morning I would do web development, and in the evening time I would do DSA in Java.
Got it. Very cool. When did you get to know about Google Summer of Code, and how did you start contributing?
Yeah, exactly. At that time, I was scrolling YouTube to find motivation. So I saw a video of someone, I don't remember exactly who, but he told about GSOC, and then I thought it's very cool to have that Google tag on resume. So I targeted that, yeah, in 23, I would do the GSOC. At the same time, I was scrolling Twitter and came across a guy, Irfan. He did GSOC 2022 in Rocket Chat. I just DM'd him, hey, how could I do it? Could you please tell me? he just shared a thread with me, and he had a playlist in it. He had his custom playlist of GSOC, and it was your videos in it when you
Got it.
when you made GSOC videos in 2017, 2018, contributing.
Mhm.
So I saw, yeah, I need to learn these things. I need to learn GitHub. I need to make some contributions. Then at that time, I had proper idea that I need to do these things to get accepted.
Got it. And once you came to know that you had the motivation, how did you start coding? Were you able to understand issues on day zero? How many contributions did you make before actually getting in?
So it was around December. I was struggling to choose organizations which match my tech stack. So after searching a lot, I came across 3 organizations. The first was Processing, then Zulip, and then Rocket Chat. I tried to set them up locally on my system. After a lot of struggle, I was successfully able to set them up. First, I tried to contribute in processing p5.js. The thing is, I wasn't able to understand the code base. It was too overwhelming for me. I just gave up at that time. I thought, yeah, it's too early for me. Maybe next year. But there was inside of mine, no, yaar, it's the only chance. I need to prove someone that I can do it.
Right.
So I then shifted to Zulip. Zulip uses Python in backend and frontend is in React. I fixed minor bugs. There was an issue of they were actually removing Bootstrap from their code base and using pure CSS at that time. So I just fixed the bug, fixed an issue, removed Bootstrap code and added CSS to it. Then I thought I cannot make good progress in it because the thing is during the GSOC period, you have to make the project. And if you don't know Python, I wasn't fluent with Python. So how would I make the project during the Google Summer of Code period? And I would end up failing. So I shifted to Rocket Chat. First time it was really overwhelming because Rocket Chat's code base is really huge. So I gave it time because it was my last option. I didn't have any other option. So I gave it time, read the complete code base, documentations, and then started contributing. In the beginning, I fixed 2 to 3 bugs, small issues, and then submitted a proposal.
Got it. Very cool. Interesting. And what do you think was the reason that processing felt overwhelming to you? Was it because it's not a website?
I didn't knew much about JavaScript at that time.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Then I thought I need to learn more JavaScript. So I focused on JavaScript that time.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. So after these 3 months, what's your plan after this? How are you, how has it changed your opinion? Do you want to go into open source mode? Do you still want to get a campus placement? What's your high level agenda for the next 1 year?
I am currently looking forward to contributing more to open source. I have few projects in my mind, which I'm going to work. One of them is with Rocket Chat itself. It's kind of app integration. So I'm planning to do that currently. And maybe I'll see GSOC again if I get chance.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. How many times can you do GSOC now? Is it 2?
As a student, you can do 2 times.
Got it. Very cool. Sahi hai bhai. I'm sure you can do it again. So how much time did you spend, creating your proposal? How much do you think it matters?
Proposal matters a lot, according to me, because looking from a mentor's perspective, how would you prove that you are the perfect candidate, perfect applicant to work on that particular project? Because your proposal contains everything about you, your weekly timeline, like in first week what will you do, in second week what are you planning to do, your contributions. So this gives mentors an idea that you can probably contribute to this. Then they internally rank your proposals. I don't know how that happens, but they rank your proposals internally, and then they send to Google, and then you are accepted. So writing a proposal, I would suggest at least 10 to 12 pages would be fine.
Got it. And do you mind sharing your proposal with everyone on the channel?
Yeah, I would share, no problem.
Cool. We'll link in the description. And yeah, that's all the questions. Do you think we should Aditya, do you think you have anything else to share?
Not really, but I would suggest make at least 2 to 3 contributions, because that's only proof of work you have.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Aditya, for coming on the channel, and I wish you all the best. Hey Aryan, how is it going? तुम तो TA हो ना शायद कोहट में?
हाँ जी, I am the TA as well.
Nice, very cool. But yeah, so where are you based out of currently?
I am in college right now. I am in final year. I am in NIT Hamirpur.
Got it, very cool. So would love to know your experience. How did you? Let's start from the top. When did you start coding? When did you learn about GSOC?
So for coding, I am from 2020 to 2024 batch. So during my college like admissions, COVID happened. So first 3 semesters or 3.5 semesters of my college went into online, and there was nothing much that I did during that period because, well, there, yeah, for me, I needed some exposure to computer science and engineering because I did my 11th 12th in like physical education, the additional subject that we have in CBSE. So I wasn't really familiar about what coding actually is. So for me, coding actually began when I physically came to college. That was in my fourth semester. That's how I got introduced to coding. And at that time, some of my seniors got selected into Google Summer of Code. So that's how I like came to know about what GSOC is and what open source is.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So how did you decide? When did you decide कि now इस साल I want to do GSOC, and how did you learn to code specifically for contributing?
Since I heard about it, heard about the Google Summer of Code from my seniors, I thought, why shouldn't I be the one doing that as well, right? I saw they were getting like known in, they were getting known by the juniors, and I wanted to feel the same thing. So and there was an incentive of the money as well. So that was the reason why I started. I
Right.
started actually coding for Google Summer of Code in the January itself of like 2023, specifically for that organization. The tech stack of that organization was WebGL and plain JavaScript. I knew plain JavaScript previously, but the thing with like WebGL, and also I had to learn OpenGL, I had to learn that during like when I started working on that organization only.
Got it. This is processing, right? You worked at processing? Got it. So we talked to a few people before this. Everyone was like very overwhelmed with the processing code base and left. I think primarily because it's not a simple website. It's like a graphics library. So curious to know, you started January, which is pretty late. So how did you so quickly pick up WebGL and started contributing?
Yeah, so in January, actually, I started shortlisting organizations on
Oh, wow.
yeah. So during January, what I did was I really wasn't familiar what to do, so I just binge watched all the videos on GSOC on YouTube, like got some idea of it, and created a list of actionable steps that really helped me out. So what I did was is check the timeline and how I should. But they say also I went through the GSOC website to get familiarized with the rules, because there are some cases when there is a possibility of getting stuck in some rule that you don't know previously. Like there was rules, the people got selected in Google Summer of Code, but they were traveling during that period, so they had to like not what how do I say it, like not take the money from GSOC, because they would not be, so the payment would not be from to a country. I guess I don't know
Got it.
how to explain that rule, because their account would be in some other country and they were making
Right.
commits from a different country, so that would actually mess up the, I guess,
Compensation.
program. I don't know about the details, so I just went through the rules as well.
Got it.
So everybody knows, like with Google Summer of Code, there are like almost 800 900 organizations. So getting the organizations, like selecting a few handful of organizations from those 800 and 900 was the major task, I feel, in
Right.
this whole contribution. Like that is a really frustrating phase, because you feel you aren't doing anything by hand, you are just scrolling, opening and closing web pages only.
Right.
So I selected only 3 organizations to start working them. So the major points I used for shortlisting are how well documented the project is, how is the community and how are the maintainers communicating as well, if I am able to understand some issues of the repo or not, am I able to set up the project or not?
Mm-hmm.
And the project setup phase is connected to how well it is documented and how
Right.
well the maintainers are helping, because by lonesome it is very hard if you don't know about the project to set it up.
Yep.
So after these points, like got I had three organizations, and with time when I was able to solve some issues, it really just worked for me for P5JS, for processing
Got,
foundation.
got it. And how many issues did you solve before, the proposal deadline?
Yeah, so it is. I solved two issues, and first issue took 7 days to solve. Second issue took 10 days to solve. And the thing about issue is, like, sometimes we underestimate the issue, and when we start digging what is the root cause of that issue, when we take up that issue, like some things come up and we have to like dig in like really deep to get to solve it basically. So
Right.
that's what happened for me for both of the issues, and my maintainer was really like helpful in figuring out stuff, because these were the first two issues I was doing. So it took me almost 2 to 3 weeks to get through two issues only, including the time that I had to find those issues as well. That's another
Got,
task.
got it. Makes sense. And did you think the issue section was very competitive, or was it pretty chill for P5JS?
So yeah, it wasn't very much competitive, I guess, because people weren't able to set up the project. That was a really big thing.
Yep.
Because there were some phases of project setup that weren't documented, and I had to like just bang my head to get through it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. Okay, so you went through it through the summer. What's your plan after this? Are you thinking of remaining in open source, finding a full-time job here, or do you want to get a campus placement? What's your high-level future look like?
I actually asked this from you in the previous cohort in one lecture, that
Mhm.
there was, if you might remember, there was one person who said that he has done GSOC, but he wasn't able to find any opportunities in that particular tech stack. So what should
Right.
that person do? And you were like, just if you aren't able to find any opportunities, just get over it and start working on the next thing. So that's what I was planning to do. And after you told the same thing, it actually really, like, how do I say it, काफी ऐसे approve हो गया आप वो thought
Mhm.
कि yeah, this
Right.
is the right thing. If I can't find anything, I have to move on the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very true. Yeah, opportunities. Oh yeah, but don't miss out on another opportunity just because. Don't restrict yourself to a tech stack with a high minimum. But I think processing. I don't know. I could be wrong. They also probably hire full time if you're thinking of doing that. Or
So
not. Or
for
not.
yeah. So I actually when I was trying to find some job in this organization, I looked. I worked on the P5JS, the JavaScript library of Processing Foundation. They have one library in Java, one in JavaScript, and one in Python. So I
Mm-hmm.
was working on the JavaScript one.
Yep.
So for the P5JS, there is only one employee,
Okay.
and all the rest of people are either volunteers or just so there are two types of people that work in an open source organization. One are like hobby people that
Right.
really like contributing to open source. Another one are like which are using that open source library or open source like organization in their own work, in their some personal work. So
Correct.
that's what the most audience in that my P5JS organization were. So there is only one employee, and I thought, if there is only one employee, how would I like get into it?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. I think that was super insightful. Thank you so much for taking out the time, and thank you so much for being a TA in the cohort as well. I think your experience is super valuable, and students mostly love you. So thank you for that, and hope to work more closely with you in the future. And all the best for your future.
Yeah, thanks for having me as well. I was like really, I don't know, nervous about getting selected about TA, because what
Mm-hmm.
happened was is since the project I worked on for Google Summer of Code was very niche, so I wasn't able to convert it into anything like monetary.
Right. Right. Right.
So I was not sure if I am skillful enough to do anything. So I just switched to lead code and DSA.
Nice.
And meanwhile, you selected me as TA. So I was like I know some things which can be useful. Yeah, that was some like थोड़ी सी हिम्मत मिल जाती है, I guess.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, 100%. I think, and also like your contributions generally have been super helpful. Students have been like super. I know कौन कितना contribute कर रहा है, तो people have been super happy with that. So thank you so much. I don't know, you don't. This is probably beneath you. You know a bunch of things, and I know students can be very grueling and ask simple questions. So thank you for being patient and yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.